Morning everyone. Today we are going to learn about gravity in detail with some more examples. It is from the lesson Measuring Forces. For that you need student book page number 78 and 79. We have already started to learn about the force of gravity, right? Now we know that the things are falling on the ground because the earth is pulling them towards its center. And it is called gravity. We know it already, right? Today we will see some of the example for the force of gravity. Why the fruits are falling down from the trees? Because the earth is pulling them down. Or why people and objects stay on the ground? Why we are not able to fly like superheroes? We are always on the ground, right? Walking on the ground, running on the ground. What is the reason for that? That is all because of the force of gravity that the earth is having. So we will revise again about gravity. What is gravity? Gravity is the force that keeps everything on the ground, and it is causing the objects to fall down on the ground. If you can see in the picture, you can see the apple is falling down and we are staying on the ground. And same like that, all the objects that we are having are on the ground. Gravity is a force that pulls the things towards the center of the earth. If you can look at this picture, you can see how the earth is trying to pull the things towards its center. When the earth tries to pull the things towards its center, we will remain on the surface of the earth, or we will stay on the ground. We can't see gravity with our eyes. We have already learned that gravity is an invisible force. That means we cannot see the gravity with our eyes, but we can feel its effects. You want to try? Okay. Now stand up and straighten your arms out wide like in this picture. For how long you can stay this way? Just try and let me know, okay? When you try to keep your arms straight, your muscles will really help you to do so. Even though if the muscles in your arms try hard to keep your arms up, the gravity will act by trying to pull your arms down towards the ground. That is why you will not be able to hold your arms like that for a very long time. Even when you jump, the gravity will put you back on the earth or on the ground. We are not able to fly away like a superhero, right? Every time you try to jump, the earth will pull you back. What is this pull force? The pull force that the earth is having when it is pulling you towards its center is called gravity. Now look at this picture. And can you help me to find out how the coconut is falling to the ground? We are doing it by ourselves? No, the coconut is falling down because of the force, gravity. The gravity force is trying to pull the coconut towards the ground. And here you can see that one boy is falling down because of the wet floor. What might be the reason he is falling down on the ground? He is falling down because of the force of gravity. Otherwise, there's a chance he will float in the air. Here the earth is pulling him to fall down. Do you like to fly in the parachute? What will happen if we are jumping from a helicopter or something using a parachute? Will you go up or you will come down gradually? Even though you stay in the air for some time, at the end you will come down to the ground for sure. How is that happening? This is happening because the earth is pulling you down. Because of the gravity force that the earth is having, you are coming down. Now, every time you like to play with a ball, right? When you throw the ball up to the sky, it will stay in the sky or it will come down. Even though it may stay in the air for 1 or 2 seconds, after some times it will come down for sure, right? The gravity pulls the ball to come back to the ground. So next time you throw a ball into the air, you must thank to the gravity. Why? It is coming back to the ground just because there is a gravity force that is applying by the earth. If there is no gravity force, what will happen? The ball that you are throwing to the air will stay in the air. It cannot come back. So thanks to the gravity. It is helping you so much, right? Now, what happens if there is no gravity force? We have seen that before, right? If the earth is not having any gravity, it cannot pull you towards the earth. So you will be floating in the space or in the sky. There is no gravity force in the space. What is called space? The outside part of the earth, where we have the sun, the moon, all other planets, is called the space. It is said that there is no gravity in the space. That is why when the astronauts are going to the space, even though they are inside the space station, they will be floating. That means they cannot walk. There is no gravity to keep them down. Can you see this picture? You can see that the people are flying like superheroes because there is no force to pull them towards the ground. So they will be simply floating around. Now, can you imagine that there is no force of gravity around you? What might happen? Can you write or draw what do you think will happen if there is no force of gravity around you? And can you take a photograph of that and send me that in Class Dojo? We can measure this pull of gravity. We can know that how much gravity is applying on an object. For that, we use a force meter. We use a force meter to measure the pull of gravity. How much the earth is pulling an object, that we can measure using the force meter. So, we will have a quick look on the things that we have learned today. We have learned that gravity is a natural force that will pull all the objects toward the center of the earth. That is why we are able to stay on the surface of the earth. So what will happen if the earth is not having any gravity force? If the earth is not having any gravity, every one of us would be floating into the sky. Gravity is a force that pulls the things towards its center. We use a force meter to measure the pull of gravity. That means we can use a force meter to measure how the gravity pulls the things towards the ground. I hope you have learned about some more examples that really help you to know better about gravity. Thank you.